Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome between 161 and 180 AD and was known as the last good emperor before Rome's subsequent collapse. Meditations is essentially a journal of his thoughts and the wisdom that he accumulated over a lifetime of practicing Stoic philosophy. Meditations is very interesting because it consists of the thoughts of essentially the most powerful man in the world. And he's not talking about making it rain or new castles to build for his wives. He's talking about increasing his self-discipline, how to help others, and trying to live in the moment better. It's like someone finding Barack Obama's diary and seeing that all he actually cares about is helping others and being the best leader he can be. When in reality, his diary actually has the true location of his birth certificate. Ahead are 8 quotes that really demonstrate what it means to be stoic and what Marcus Aurelius thought it meant to live a good life. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice. In the world we live in today, it's easy for our mind to wander. We have Snapchat, Facebook, and non-stop advertisements pulling us in every direction. Marcus says we should focus on what we're doing completely. We have a mission, we should not stray from there. Human life, duration, momentary, nature, changeable, perception, dim, condition of body, decaying, soul, spinning around, fortune, unpredictable, lasting fame, uncertain. Sum up, the body and its parts are a river, the soul a dream and mist, life is warfare and a journey far from home, lasting reputation is oblivion. Just focus on being a good person and try to remain in the present moment as much as you can. We're not long for this world, so we should appreciate the time we do have. This is not something you do once, but rather something you continuously practice for your entire life. People who are excited by posthumous fame forget that the people who remember them will soon die too, and those after them in turn, until their memory, passed from one to another like a candle flame, gutters and goes out. But suppose that those who remembered you were immortal, and your memory undying. What good would it do you? What's the point in trying to become legendary, or doing things that make you notorious throughout time? If you work at Apple Computers, they treat Steve Jobs like a messiah and a superhuman. But it doesn't matter to Steve Jobs because Steve Jobs is super dead. It does us no good to waste our present life in order to be celebrated in the future. So whether that happens or not and we do become legendary, we still don't benefit. So enjoy the process of your work and be a good person. Because most of what we say and do is not essential. If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This means we should take a look at how we spend our days. Do we need to be gossiping about what so-and-so said? Do we really need to check that Facebook status? All this is doing is taking away from us what's really important. Take away distractions and you'll have more time to either make the world a better place or sit and appreciate the present moment. Treat what you don't have as non-existent. Look at what you have, the things you value most, and think of how much you'd crave them if you didn't have them. But be careful. Don't feel such satisfaction that you start to overvalue them, that it would upset you to lose them. Instead of constantly striving for more, let's take a step back to really appreciate what we have. This is good for thinking about and appreciating loved ones and how much they really mean to us. But then, in natural Stoic wisdom, Marcus says that if we value these, we should also be okay with losing them. Learn to ask of all actions, why are they doing that? Starting with your own. It's a great habit to look at people doing pointless nonsense and wonder, what's the purpose of this? Whenever I go home and I see my parents watching reality TV, the latest Survivor, I think, why on earth are they wasting their time doing that? Then I smugly walk away all enlightened and look at people's Snapchat stories. Although I'm right and they shouldn't spend their time shoveling that garbage into their brain, I must start by looking at all the stupid things that I do and ask myself, why on earth do I do this to myself? It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. We get into relationships and careers in order to impress other people. Everyone wants their son or daughter to be a lawyer, but how many people truly have a passion for law and want to make that a career? Not many. Many of us are just looking for acceptance from other people, when really, we need to just accept ourselves and do what we think is right, not what we're told is the way to live. Keep in mind that nobody has their life figured out, and we're all just winging it, pretending we know what we're doing. Although Marcus Aurelius died nearly 2,000 years ago, the things that he says still hold very true today. We have no need to accumulate a bunch of material things. We don't need to try to impress others. Everything we need, we already have. And it would do us good to remember that sometimes bad things happen to good people, and we may end up being the ones who are wrong sometimes. We need to stop being so focused on individual me and start thinking about it as the big picture. Sometimes we need to have unfair things happen to others, and we need to realize that whether we're alive for 3 days or 3 generations, it does not matter in the grand scheme of things. If you depersonalize everything that happens to you, good or bad, there can be no wrongs committed against you.